First, we got to fill up the water. I'm not sponsored by this company, but Mountain Valley, I think they're in Arkansas. This is the only, and I've researched so many water companies, but Mountain Valley right here, if you use this water, obviously, you know how many microplastics are in water. I think there's like 250,000 microplastic particles. It's insane. It's like the amount of microplastics in typical water bottles will severely affect your testosterone if you're drinking bottled water all the time, if you're a man. So you need to replace this with either sparkling water, which automatically kind of comes in glass bottles, or the Mountain Valley, which is just still regular spring water. But I'm not sponsored by them, guys. I just bought these at Sam's Club. It was like a 12 pack of these 750 milliliter. I think that's a pint, right? Of these water. It's like 26 ounces roughly. But it's a pretty good deal to get these if you actually care about your health, you care about what you're drinking and what's going into your body. But as you guys know, my name's Caleb Schulke. This is the Ascended podcast, of course. TikTok, welcome in. My phone's off screen here. You guys can see that. We have the live stream going on here. We have YouTube, Whop, all the other communities involved. But I just wanted to say I appreciate everybody taking the time on a Saturday to come hang out with us, and we're going to get straight into it. Today's episode is going to be interesting. This is something that's going to seem very meta and abstract, but as I talk through these topics a little bit more, you guys are going to start to realize how impactful they are. So doing one last mic check, making sure we're good. That mic's on. And yeah, I'm going to get right to it. This will probably be about 30 minutes, by the way. Hopefully less, maybe more. I like to yap sometimes, so hopefully you guys don't have anything more important going on. If you're already a member inside Ascend, if you guys are already inside of our free community, if you're inside the digital syndicate, you guys will see a lot of changes that we made inside the community. We have now an AI bot that can answer any questions about exactly how our programs work. So if you're in the free community, if you're making money, people are submitting content rewards literally up until I hit start on this live stream. So we have a ton of content clippers right now taking the podcast here, chopping it up into TikToks and making money every single time they hit post, guaranteed money in their bank account. So if you guys want that to be you, if you want to get in on the wave here of making money with content and being an affiliate, whatever it is, just tap in, guys. Like the video, go to the link in the bio and just get started with that. But today we're talking about a deeper topic. I need you guys to listen up because this isn't your grandma's TED Talk, right? We're about to rip the lid off of a hidden type of war that you guys are living in every single day. The war for your energy, for your money, and for your mind. The three biggest assets you have. Sounds crazy, right? But stick around because by the end of this, you're going to see the matrix code of our reality. If you've ever seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That scene where you can manipulate it, right? You can see the code and you can make things happen internally, right? All of the things in that movie, honestly, have some sort of truth behind them. But I'm going to answer the question, why do you wake up tired, anxious, broke, and glued to an endless doom scroll? Why is it so easy to get on your phone and just waste time repetitively? It's not an accident, guys. Your brain has been programmed on purpose. It's a frequency war. And you've been drafted without even knowing it. So you might think World War III is the scariest thing coming up, but you've already been recruited and psyoped into this war. We're going to full send the truth about energy, currency, and how your frequency is under attack. It seems meta, guys. I sound kind of like a hippie already for talking about it, but I want you guys to know that there are ramifications for not paying attention to these things. Sorry, guys, on the stream here. I'm trying to make your view a little bit better. I'm going to zoom in a little more on TikTok. But paying attention is the only way that you can get out of this. This will be raw. This will be unfiltered. And yes, UCMJ compliant. So don't worry, my military bros. I'm not about to get you guys court-martialed or myself. Think of this as a high-voltage briefing, somewhere between an Andrew Tate wake up, maybe Nick Fuentes fire rant, without the hate or the illegal shit. We're exposing how exactly to take your cash flow and your brain waves and change them without being manipulated. By the end, you're going to know exactly how to break out of the system and turn the tables. If you're hooked yet, good. Grab your tinfoil hat and your thinking cap, because what I'm about to say might actually shock you guys. Your heart, your mind, your money, and your news feed, it's all connected in one giant control grid, and you aren't the one that's programming it. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. Let's dive in. The first lesson of today, the hidden science of human energy and frequency. You are a walking, talking, electromagnetic being. That's not new age hippie talk. It's not vibes. It's hard science. Your heart and brain literally emit frequencies in electrical fields. That's been proven. In fact, the heart and its electromagnetic field is about 5,000 times stronger than the brain's. And it can be detected several feet from outside your body. You ever sense someone's like vibe, right? We use the term vibe, but it's actually a vibrational frequency. That's where the term vibe comes from. It's real science. When they walk in the room, guys, the vibe they give off, that's likely your heart's field syncing with theirs in a silent frequency chat. Again, this doesn't sound real, right? But how many things that we know are science also don't sound real? You know, color, right? The fact that you're looking at my suit and it's a light blue. Well, in reality, it's every color except light blue, because every other frequency is being blocked by your brain except for the blue frequency. And therefore, my suit appears to be blue to you, right? So what you see, the perception of blue and the color of what I'm wearing, doesn't actually mean that that's the truth of what it is. The same thing happens on levels you can't see. We know our cells exist. We know atoms exist. We know there's levels deeper than atoms called quarks. And within those quarks are a series of strings. That's where string theory comes from, if you guys aren't paying attention. And so a lot of things about reality we just can't see. Our human eye can't comprehend it. And therefore, I'm going to be very real about the fact that vibes and frequencies are a very real thing. The people who you think are crazy listening to frequencies or certain brain deafening things or tone frequencies, that's a real thing, because it does change the way those strings move inside of the deepest level of our anatomy. Think about anatomy. The term anatomy consists of atom, ATOM, which means that we are made up of atoms and energy frequencies. An atom is defined as like this physical object, right? Atoms are inside molecules, right? Atoms are moving around, but in reality, atoms are actual energy fields. They're not just a physical structure inside of a molecule. It's a pattern of strings, right? Of quarks and energy signs, right? That are controlled by frequencies. So if you are on a different frequency, if your body vibrates at a different frequency, well, that's going to change the results that you perceive. It's going to change the way you feel. It's going to change the sleep patterns, the way your brain works, the energy levels you have. But also, if not taking control of, someone else can. And there are so many signals in our day-to-day life that impact that. What's even more wild is that the Earth itself has a heartbeat. If you guys haven't heard of this yet, right? There's a low-frequency electromagnetic pulse called the Schumann resonance, which is at about 7.83 hertz. That circles the planet, right? You know how in space movies and things like that, they kind of have this like low, just like deep tone, right? That kind of resembles the Earth's like sound, even though there's really no sound in space. You can't perceive sound in space. That's kind of like the vibe of the Earth, right? This Earth is a slow, deep, grounded energy. And guess what? Human brain waves, when we're relaxed or in a meditative state, oscillate at pretty much the same frequency. What does that tell you? So when we're at peace and when we're touching grass, almost literally, when our body is in contact with the Earth, we vibrate at a frequency of 7.83 hertz. That's the healthy wavelength and frequency for your body to be at. Again, this sounds crazy because you guys can't see it with your eyes. And so, like so many things, right? It's like I can't tell the air's polluted because I can't see the pollution. You can see cars that emit, smoke and exhaust and things like that. But most of the time, the danger, right? The carbon monoxide in the air, you can't see. And so to you, it's just not real because your brain says, well, I can't perceive that. But on the deepest level, the things that make up our body, right? The string theory, that changes our entire perception of reality and how our body interacts. Because again, the way the strings move are the way the quarks move. The way the quarks move, the atoms move. The way the atoms move, the molecules, which mean our cells, our tissues, and our organs, And so no wonder your stomach's upset when you're doing things and disrupting your natural signals and your frequencies. It has nothing to do with what you ate. It has everything to do with where you're positioning yourself. If your brain is next to a phone that's emitting frequency, Wi-Fi routers emit like 5 million times the natural frequency of wavelength that your body can handle. And so you're wondering why you shouldn't sleep with technology. It's not because it's going to wake you up with notifications. It's because it's literally disrupting your sleep pattern. And the Earth, again, vibrates at a 7.83 frequency, Hertz field. And so why you need to touch grass, why I like going out and barefoot walking in the morning like a psychopath when everyone thinks I'm weird, right? Why I like going out by the pool without shoes on. It's because your shoes, right? Think about, I have these rubber Birkenstocks. Rubber, as we know, is an insulator, and that defends yourself from getting shocked by a current. Most of our shoes have rubber soles on purpose because they block frequencies getting from the earth into our bodies. Rubber is an insulator. Your shoes have rubber on the bottom, which means even though your body's supposed to be in sync with the earth, right? Think electrical grounding, right? When you have frequency and your hair is staticky, you're going to touch something or somebody else to ground you. They're going to get a shock because the energy is being transmitted back to the earth. The earth is our natural receiver of energy. It grounds us, not just like in a mental state, right? When you think I'm grounded, but literal grounding, which basically relaxes our body. You're wondering why you're anxious all the time. You're wondering why your body's upset. It's because you haven't grounded yourself with the earth. Because every time you walk outside and you're touching grass, you have shoes on. There's blocking things, right? You walk on concrete, not grass. Concrete, again, is disrupting frequencies of the earth. And you're wondering why life is getting more and more anxious, why people are getting less and less connected with the nature of the human body, and why we feel like everything is off, why we're bloated, these headaches, all these things, right? But this gets deeper. Let's talk about the pineal gland, Pineal. Please look it up if you've never heard of this, because it's very, very deep where I'm about to go. This is a mysterious little third eye, I guess, in your brain. Your brain can actually see, even though you don't think it can, right? It doesn't have an eyeball, but it can sense, kind of like a dolphin sensing frequencies in the ocean, or a whale using sonar. It can't see the ship, right? It can't see things in the ocean, but it can emit sounds that bounce back to it. Your brain can kind of do the same thing. And so if it doesn't seem crazy that a whale can do it, why would it seem crazier that your human brain, one of the most intelligent organisms on the planet, can also do it? This little thing has fascinated truth seekers forever, and for a very good reason, guys. Researchers discovered very tiny calcite crystals inside of the human pineal gland. Why does that matter? That's the same exact question I asked. Well, because calcite is piezoelectric, meaning it can convert electronic signals or electrical signals into vibration and vice versa. Vibration is the concept that makes up our entire existence. The way the universe moves, the way gravity works, everything is connected to a vibration. And our body is made up, again, at the very lowest level of these strings, not even atoms, but strings inside quarks inside atoms. And so when our vibration is off, everything is off. Our brain, our signals within our brain, our feelings, our mood, our control over our reality is all distorted. And so this pineal gland inside your brain controls those signals and how you interpret them. So that is the most important organ in your body, even though you've never learned that in school. I wonder why. I wonder why they wouldn't want you to learn that. These microcrystals in your pineal are similar to the crystals in your inner ear, right? The cochlea and the hairs inside your ear, right? The like drum, right? Kind of shaped organs inside your brain that help you sense gravity, right? When your ears pop, it's because gravity is being affected, and your ears are trying to process that and keep you grounded, essentially. Some scientists think that the pineal gland might act as an antenna for your body, sensitive to electromagnetic fields. So as much as like our brain gets dizzy, right, when you're on a roller coaster and your ears pop, or you're trying to sense gravity, and so it creates a sickening feeling because you can't figure out exactly where you're at in space, you also get disrupted in your body when you can't sense where you're at in electromagnetic fields, when you're not grounded back to the earth or to your natural rhythm. Your body's going to be off, and you're going to blame it on the gluten that you ate at Olive Garden last night. But in reality, you guys just need to regulate yourself. In fact, studies show that changing magnetic fields can suppress your pineal gland's melatonin production. That's your sleep and mood hormone. Anything electric basically can disrupt that, because it's like having a magnet, guys. You ever seen the magnet with ash, like when you were a kid in elementary school, and you like move the magnets and you could see little magnetic dust right around it, kind of scattering or moving? That's the same thing that's happening when you put a phone in your space. Your brain is emitting wavelengths. It's trying to ground itself with the earth. And all of a sudden you put this electronic device that also emits a high amount of frequency in that space. No wonder your sleep pattern is going to be disrupted. Translation: the EMF soup that we live in, cell towers, Wi-Fi, etc., could be dulling that third eye and messing with your sleep and sound, as well as your mood. They don't call it calcifying your pineal for nothing. Basically, we're building up this like crust, literally, around our pineal gland, the most important gland in our brain, which allows us to sense the vibrations. And the more that's dulled, the less you can connect with your actual intuition, is actually what it is. You can't sense what's going on in the world around you. You know how birds, right, can sense when it's time to migrate? Birds can identify when it's time to go south for the winter. That doesn't seem crazy, right? Because you've studied it. The same way this doesn't sound crazy when you actually know how it works. We're the smartest animals on the planet, guys. And you think that we can't sense things like birds can? We can sense things way better. The only reason is that it doesn't feel like that is because your brain's been numbed. It's been numbed by the same technology that you're watching this on. It's emitting frequencies. Some would say for convenience, but others would say on purpose, to distract your brain from being intuitive, because that's what makes you money. That's what makes you powerful. That's what helps you sense what's really going on. You think this is fringe? Well, the US military sure doesn't. They've weaponized frequency. The active denial system is a non-lethal crowd control weapon, basically a heat ray that fires a 95 gigahertz microwave beam. It instantly makes your skin feel like it's burning by exciting the water molecules under your skin. It penetrates 1/64th of an inch, so it's non-lethal, but it will send a mob running. They've also got sonic weapons, or LRADs, nicknamed the voice of God, that can hurl sound so powerfully it disperses crowds. I've seen videos, guys, of like riots going on, and essentially you'd hear this like boom or this blast on the video down the center of the crowd, and all of a sudden there'd be this like Red Sea tide dispersing of people running away from something that isn't even there. Well, clearly, if that's effective in a video, you know that these technologies exist and they're real. So frequency weapons do exist. Look it up. So when we say frequencies affect humans, it's not theory. It's actually battlefield tested fact. And you guys, if you do your research and you actually pay attention, you can learn these things. My phone is at 14%. I'm going to actually unplug real quick. I'm going to unplug this from my, I'm going to plug it into my phone here, guys, for you on TikTok. Sweet. And then we're good to go. Let me get a sip. Like the stream, guys, comment, anything you can helps me grow. If you're inside of our community, if you're inside our Whop, you can see us going live right now. Obviously, Rumble's our main platform. We're trying to grow, so just get active on there. Go support us. I'd love it if you guys could donate. It helps us grow our community and our presence, but whatever you guys can do. You don't have to donate $1 million, right? You just have to pay attention, because I'm really going for education here, and I want you guys to know what's really going on behind the scenes. So let's continue with our next section. Currency, the flow of energy and power. What does this mean? Well, have you ever wonder why we call money currency? Think about it. What else is current? Electric fields, like flows of energy? Because currency literally means flow. The word comes from Latin. It's currese. I might have butchered that. To run, basically. It means to run, as in a current, like a river runs, right? Or electrical current. Money isn't just pieces of paper or numbers on a screen. It's energy in motion. Think about the terms, guys. Think about the way that this works. Currency, right? Like a river current. You also have banks with money, right? Which is like the sides of the riverbank. It's where things are stored. Deposits build up. Oh, deposits, like on a river, like when sediment or currency is deposited there and kind of hits its wall, right? It's the end point of currency. That's the bank.